he just made Raptors fans, he just made the NBA, he just made everyone regret doubting him, as Jonathan Mogbo has shown flashes of greatness, shown flashes of why he was taken with the first pick in the second round of the most recent NBA draft at the course of the season, but really put things all together tonight. Him and his combination of Jamal Shead out there at the point guard position. Frankly, it was a pleasure to watch. And having young guys, especially where the Raptors in this most recent draft selected a lot of players that do have significantly high upside. Again, whether or not they will achieve that, that's the big question mark in terms of every young prospect. But what we just saw, specifically from Jonathan Mogbo, is showing how if things come together, if everything comes in their own, if the vision ends up coming to fruition for this Raptors team as it did here tonight, the Toronto Raptors found another gem out there in the most recent NBA draft that will help build for the future. Because, frankly, there are a bunch of people that looked at Jonathan Mogbo and said, hey, this guy, he is just Scottie Barnes' friend. He is just a nepotism hire. I've seen that stuff happen in our comment section a lot. Like, oh, Scottie's buddy. That's why we drafted him. He's your star player. Yada, yada, yada. Jonathan Mogbo has, from day one, shown a few things that really prove that he certainly deserved that top pick in this year's second round. I mean, Mogbo clearly is a guy that has phenomenal vision out there as a passer at the forward position. Does he always execute the perfect passes? Sometimes the passes aren't exactly on target, but you can see the reads. You can see the feel. Jonathan Mogbo, when he's out there on the basketball court, he can just look and see and have a great feel for how plays are developing. So that's the first thing. That's just clear. And that's one of those intangibles that's really hard to put together for a big man out there in the NBA. But of course, he has elite athleticism. He plays with a ton of intensity. He gets a lot of rebounds. And that's why you've seen a lot of comparisons to Draymond Green for Jonathan Mogbo ever since he was brought into the Toronto Raptors system. And of course, Draymond Green didn't come into his own right at the start. Draymond Green wasn't a young rookie coming in by any means, to that Golden State Warriors team. And Jonathan Mogbo is following a similar trajectory. Of course, Draymond Green is the dream case scenario for Masai Ujiri in terms of making these selections, making these pickups. But tonight, we just saw a flash in the pad in terms of how this could really look. Because the Raptors just beat the Brooklyn Nets 109-120. I'm not worried about the wins and losses. I'm worried about the development of these players here right now. But Jonathan Mogbo tonight had 17 points, 11 rebounds, 7 assists, 2 steals, and 2 blocks. And this is the thing, even in Jonathan Mogbo's bad games, because there's still a lot to develop with Mogbo. That's a certainty. He's not polished by any means, here now at this point in his NBA career. But even when he's missing those easy floaters, even when a lot of those shots that you'd like to see go down to, he brings the intensity on the defensive end, can get some blocks, get steals, just make good reads out there at the defensive end. Obviously, all of defense is in blocks and steals, but he can come out and get boards, get assists, just make the right basketball plays. And that's exactly the type of player that you want out there on the basketball court. And tonight, he was very efficient, took a lot of shots at the rim, 8 of 9 from the field, and is exactly the type of guy that Masai Ujiri just hopes, like an ideal kind of piece to have out there in the mix, out there at the forward spot around, the newly acquired, brought together core, Brandon Ingram, Scottie Barnes, RJ Barrett. Yes, you might want some more floor space, and he's working on those aspects of his game, but really just guys that know how to play basketball, that won't be ball stoppers, that can affect the games without having to be a ball dominant type of player. And Mogbo is showing how he can have an impact on the game, without having to, do what Brandon Ingram's going to do with, holding the ball for stretches and then getting some buckets and getting shifty. So that is something. Like, there has been some doubts. And yes, the Raptors have played an easier schedule. That's easier teams. This Brooklyn Nets team is not good. And there's another storyline in this that I do want to discuss. But basically, we're beating up on some bad teams, so we can't overreact to everything that's going on. And Jonathan Mogbo has had some stinkers in the back half of the season when you'd hope he'd have some super ideal games. But in every single outing, he has proved that he is able to do the little things right night in, night out, and has shown flashes that as things come together, as things come into their own, this is a guy that everyone is going to regret doubting on. NBA Raptors fans, whoever's been out here roasting him alike, Jonathan Mogbo is going to be one of those dudes. So that's a huge positive there in this game for Mogbo, for this team. But it wasn't just him in this one, as I do want to highlight Jamal Shead, who has been phenomenal the back half of the season. Similar to Mogbo, the box scores every night in, night out haven't just been game-changing. Like, you look at it, it's like, oh, this guy is a superstar, just looking at the box scores. Jamal Shead, just given the reins, given the keys to this Toronto Raptors offense, has proven that he has the poise, has the energy, has the ability to be one of those lead point guards, like the leader out there on the court, the coach on the floor for these Raptors teams. And I saw someone mention, it was on Twitter, right? I'm not sure, but I like the quote. Tonight was a Lowry-esque performance for Jamal Shead, as in a 11-point victory, he ended up having a plus 31 out there in the plus minus, and that's what we used to see all the time out there from Kyle Lowry, because again, how he used to impact the games. He'd run the lineups, Lowry plus bench unit. Those lineups are some of the best in the NBA, and Jamal Shead is showing that impact, because even though he went 3 of 11 from the field, 1 of 3 from the 3-point line, all that type of stuff, still ended the game with 9 points, 12 assists, 3 steals, really impacting the game on the defensive end as well, but really just showing that poise, that confidence, that ability to command an offense, to be that top guy out there in your rotation. The point guard that's the maestro, the orchestrator, the everything you could ask for, and just have an impact out there on winning. And of course, with Immanuel Quickley not playing tonight, it's this evening. Having that point guard step up and be able to be effective, be able to do everything is what you want to see from Jamal Shead. So phenomenal stuff there. But all around, this game was just one of the craziest statistic games that you've probably ever seen. I mean, looking at the Toronto Raptors, we had, 8 guys in double figures, 2 guys that were very, very close to double figures, very even distribution in regards to scoring. And then the Brooklyn Nets, it was the same thing. You had 9 guys out there in double figures. And then the other guy that played out there on the court, Tyson, is 7 points. Everyone was out there getting points. It was a wide distribution in terms of buckets. I don't know if we'll ever see a game like this again out there in the NBA, but it just goes to show when you have younger guys get opportunities and stuff, how these games can shake out. But even though with memes aside, the weird statistics aside, a lot of guys had good games. Ochai Abachi would have liked to see more shots go down, but still at 15 points, which is positive. To have a few turnovers, which is what it is. I thought still he had an overall positive game in this one, positive impact. Cole Swider, who will break down, just signed another 10-day contract. 12 points tonight, 4 of 7, knocked down 4 3-point shots, which is exactly what you want to see, and brought a lot of intensity out there, getting some boards, getting some hustle. And Masai Ujiri's analyzing these guys. You want to impress out there with your energy, especially if you're a 3-point shooter. Being able to do all the other stuff out there on the basketball court is crucial, and Masai Ujiri's being able to do all that. So, show Masai Ujiri that Cole, goodness gracious, Masai Ujiri's out here getting buckets, getting boards, getting everything. Cole Swider's able to show Masai Ujiri that he's able to do all of that in tonight's game. So that's a positive. And then, of course, you look at everything that everyone that just played well. Orlando Robinson, again, proving his case, why he is the case he's making to be the backup big man for the Raptors next season. Jameson Bell knocked down a couple threes, had some shots inside the 3-point line as well. Positive stuff. AJ Lawson continuing to put up some buckets, and Jared Rhoden, 10 points in this game. Nothing crazy overwhelming, nothing besides Jonathan Mogbo that just absolutely blows your socks off, but still positive night. And the Raptors, as we've been updating daily on these videos, essentially it's going to be tough. I think it's the Nets have to win every game, the Raptors have to lose every game to get to 6. That's unrealistic. And if the Raptors lose one more game, or the Spurs win one more game, as of recording, the Spurs are still playing the Portland Trailblazers, so there's a chance the Raptors are locked into the 7 best odds tonight in their quest, in their mission to capture the flag, who was just knocked out of the NCAA playoffs. But basically, the Raptors are very, very likely, very, very set to be in the 7th seed, but we'll see how everything plays out. But let me know what you guys think about the Raptors win against the Brooklyn Nets, the development, Jonathan Mogbo, and everything that's going on in between for this Raptors team. Again, if you made it this far and you want to listen to Raptors Digest on the go, we are on Spotify, we're on Apple Music, we're on all these platforms here now at this point, so definitely check us out on those spaces if you want more Raptors Digest, so you don't miss a single thing. Anyways, I'm signing out. Cheers.